The 2003-2004 basketball season was unforgettable for me and for most of the CBA community. It had been quite a while since CBA rose to the top in basketball. It had been since 1983 that we won a sectional title. This season was the culmination of a lot of hard work that went into improving not only individually, but improving as a team. It began back in 2002 season when we were led by senior point guard Sean McCluskey, who taught us what toughness was. And we needed to develop that after years of just going through the motions. Sean tore his ACL in July of that summer and remarkably worked his way back to play during his senior season and lead us into a sectional quarterfinal matchup where we lost in triple overtime to Gilliland. On that team was Brian Monahan, who I think learned a great deal that season, and also on that team was Joe Bova, who backed up Sean in a point guard role and kind of set the tone for a very physical player that he became. As you watch this, I want you to understand that this was in the making for 3 years.
Hey Bro Nation, Dan Kirchner here, class of 2004, here to talk to you guys about our sectional final victory over Gilliland High School in 2004 at Hudson Valley Community College. Hard to believe that was 17 years ago. You know, coming into the year, we were supposed to be good. We had pretty much everybody back from our run the year before, and it was just a great group of guys. Everybody got along so well. It was just easy, you know, it felt natural. We were just kind of primed to make a run like this. The atmosphere in that gym was electric that night. I think there was something like 3,500 or 4,000 people. Just, you know, top notch. Our CBA fans, best in the area, obviously. It's easy to get juiced up for a game when you have them behind you. So big shout out to CBA's fan base. Yeah, let's get into the game a little bit.
Bro Nation, what's going on? It's Monty here, number 54. Man, just got done the other night watching that Gilliland game and brought me back right to my 18-year-old self. What a game that was. Even better than I remembered, actually. You know, seeing the fans and the student section and just the intensity of the game really kind of had some nostalgic feeling to it and brought me back to the glory days of that team we had. But yeah, I mean, watching it the other night, I was kind of getting all fired up, getting some goosebumps, starting to sweat a little bit, yelling at my phone. But God, that was a battle. And obviously, the best part was us coming out in the end. You know, definitely a team effort. Kind of something Coach Domel always instilled in us. You know, it's not about one guy, it's about the whole team. So, you know, our coaching staff, the entire team, our families, the fans, you know, especially the student section. I think that's one thing that, you know, kind of thinking back and watching that game and talking about it with my wife, the student section kind of really set us apart from anybody else. I mean, we obviously had a great team. You know, we had a deep team. Our practices were intense. You know, every guy in the team contributed. But when we traveled, and even for our home games, when we traveled, especially in the playoffs and everything, our student section set us apart from anybody else. So even if we were struggling, which after rewatching that game, I definitely struggled that game, worse than I remember. But yeah, our student section just brought that intensity and definitely got us over the edge and helped us win some games for sure.
Watching this game reminded me of, you know, my senior year at CBA, an awesome time with my friends, and an awesome time for CBA basketball. That season featured a starting lineup with 4 guys 6'4" and taller. You don't get that every day in high school basketball. It was pretty common for us to blow out opponents by 20 points. We sold out almost every venue we played at, and we even had so many players at the CBA LaSalle game that it had to be postponed and restarted on a Sunday morning because the humid conditions in the gym made it unsafe for players to play.
I knew we were going to be good when I heard a conversation going on in the study hall as I was approaching. I stayed outside when I heard this heated discussion going on about who was the best player in the Capital Region, and some guys were saying Tiki Maben was, and Josh spoke up and said Brian Monahan's the best player in the area, from top dog to the last guy into the game. They were all together and great friends. So enjoy watching this ball game. Know that this was a pleasure for me to coach because they were such great kids. And it started a run of CBA basketball that was unprecedented and will be hard to repeat. And I was happy to be part of it, and hope you enjoy it.
We would like to welcome everyone to the broadcast. It is the Class AA Boys Sectional Championships from the Edward F. McDonough Sports Complex on the campus of Hudson Valley Community College. Hi, everybody. Alongside the Siena legend, Tom Herder, I'm Joe Calderon. It is a pleasure to have you with us tonight. And boy, I think when the brackets came out, Tom, it was a very intriguing matchup. CBA, Guilderland. Maybe some people thought it would be CBA and Schenectady, but I think in that semifinal, Guilderland proved that they belong in this sectional championship.
Well, there's no question. Number 1 seed from the Big Ten, number 1 seed from the Suburban Council. You've got 2 teams with contrasting styles, but both exciting in their own right. Should be an interesting matchup. Who's going to win out? Will it be the guard play or the post players for CBA?
Well, right there you can see the road to the finals. Guilderland over Bishop McGinn and Schenectady. CBA had it easy going against Saratoga in the first round, and then a squeaker, and LaSalle was at that game. Boy, LaSalle played well enough to win, but 2 big three-pointers by Joe Bova sealed that semifinal victory for the brothers. And now time to introduce the third party in this broadcast team, Damian Andrew. Damian.
Thanks, guys. Love having Tom Herder on the broadcast. Doesn't get any bigger than this. The top seed in the Suburban, top seed in the Big Ten. CBA has been here before. In fact, they lost in this game last year. But for Guilderland, this is their first ever trip, hard to believe, to a Section 2 championship game. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Damian. And I tell you, earlier, probably about 10 minutes before the broadcast, one of the Section 2 committee members told us this was going to be standing room only. In fact, some unfortunate patrons stood outside. They were not allowed in. I mean, that's how packed this place is going to be. This pre-game report, of course, is brought to you by Capital News 9. Turn to Capital News 9 for 24-hour coverage of local news, sports, and weather on the 9s. Capital News 9, only on Time Warner Cable. Your news now. And, of course, this Section 2 playoff, it was a crazy road. In the driver's seat to tell us all about it is Capital News 9 sports anchor Jason Barr.
The day began with Fort Edward beating Loudonville Christian in the Class D final. The Fort scored to take a 3-point lead in the final minute. Last chance for the Eagles. Matt Sindoni for the tie. No. Fort Edward wins 39-36. They are the Class D champions for the second time in 3 years. It was a good-looking game in Class C. Lake George versus Hoosick Valley. The Warriors' Keith Esch had a block shot, a steal, and then an assist on the game-winning basket. Lake George wins it 49-45. In Class Double C, top-seeded Watervliet had their hands full with a 6-seed Kennejohary. The Redskins built an 11-point lead, only for the Cannoneers to come back. Brian Ashline scored 24 points. He was named the game's MVP. Watervliet wins in come-from-behind fashion. And in Class B, Berkshire met the Horses of Schuylerville. This was the Josh LeBaron show. LeBaron went 4 of 5 from three-point land. Schuylerville defeats Berkshire 41-35. I'm Jason Barr, Time Warner Cable Sports.
And of course, don't forget tomorrow, boys Section 2 basketball. It's the Class A championship. Gloversville versus Burnt Hills, Ballston Lake tomorrow night at the Glensfell Civic Center. It's a 7:30 tip-off. Now we send it over to Damian Andrew with a very special guest. Damian.
Thanks, Joe. I am joined by a guy who knows a thing or two about high school boys basketball, the Section 2 boys basketball chair the last 15 years, Mike Lilac. This is an actual historic event, first ever Class AA Section 2 championship.
First time for the AA, yes. At the state level, we decided to go with one more classification. Basically what it does is spread the teams out a little bit more and give one more team a chance to be a state champion.
We don't have much time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to break down this game, a great matchup between two #1 seeds.
Oh yeah, you couldn't have asked for any better matchup than this. The top team in the Suburban, top team in the Big Ten. I've seen both of them play. They're both great teams. I think it's going to be Guilderland's speed and shooting ability against the big boys from CBA. It should be a great ball game.
Mike, thanks so much for joining us. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Damian. And of course, what would a pregame be, Tom, without breaking down key players from both teams? And for CBA, doesn't get much key than Brian Monahan and Joe Bova. Of course, as we alluded to earlier in the pregame, Bova had two huge threes in that semifinal game against LaSalle.
Well, two players that have a lot of size on their side, with Monahan at 6'7", Bova at 6'6". Should be an interesting matchup of those guys try to work their game both inside and outside, whereas Guilderland relies on their senior tandem, Steve D'Agostino and Greg Podgorski, both great perimeter scorers, both guys that can create their own shot, very difficult to defend. Schenectady found that out, so it should be a great matchup as we have the strength in guards and the strength in the post for CBA.
Boy, if you can't tell, this place sold out. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. The hairs on my arms are standing up still. It is the AA Section 2 championship for boys basketball here at Hudson Valley Community College. Tip-off coming up in just a bit right here on CW3. Welcome back to Hudson Valley Community College. Tip-off for the boys Section 2 AA championship in just a bit. Right now, the national anthem. Well, let's get ready for some basketball. The #1 seed out of the Suburban Council, Guilderland, against the #1 seed out of the Big Ten, CBA. Just a quick little stat for you. If you're one of those Big Ten loyalists and you wonder what the Suburban champ did against Big Ten competition this year, 5-0 against the Big Ten. 3 of those wins came in this year's sectionals. So Guilderland Big Ten tested.
But not one of them against the brothers of CBA. You have to love basketball in March. There's nothing sweeter. Tell you what, these young men are playing in a game that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
I tell you, if you're a hoops junkie, this past 7 days has been incredible between D3, the MAC, high school sectionals. You gotta love it. On the floor for the brothers of CBA, Don Foglia, Joe Bova, Daytwan Hemingway, Brian Monahan, Josh Duell. And on the floor for Guilderland, Doug GJ, Steve D'Agostino. You got Ryan Morin, Greg Podgorski, and then, of course, Greg Benkowski. Or, I'm sorry, check that. Tim Basic. CBA, of course, controls the tip. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Duell back to the basket. Feeds a cutting Brian Monahan on the baseline. Good for 2.
Guilderland giving up a lot of size right there. Double teaming Duell. Duell does a good job of hitting the streaking Brian Monahan along the baseline. Easy bucket for the brothers.
Basic drives by Foglia. Loses it out of bounds. And Guilderland's going to retain possession. 23 seconds left on the shot clock.
CBA starting off man-to-man against the quicker Guilderland team led by D'Agostino and Podgorski.
Podgorski being guarded by Duell. Kicks it out to Basic, who kicks it over to Steve D'Agostino. Section 2's 10th leading scorer at about 21 a game. D'Agostino over to GJ, who gets it to go. They got to fix the net. We're tied at 2.
Big drive and kick right there. Steve D'Agostino, everything starts with him at the point. Gilliland will be patient offensively, but they rely on his dribble penetration to create openings for his teammates.
Foglia being guarded by Basic. Takes the 3, short. Rebound by Bova. Can't get the putback to go. Initially rebounded by Ryan Morin, but Daytwan Hemingway and Josh Dool in there to tie it up. Gilderland gets possession.
That exchange of events right there could be a foreshadowing of what is to come as CBA getting a few opportunities on the offensive glass. Gilliland has got to find a way to keep the brothers off the glass.
D'Agostino being guarded by Hemingway.
Hemingway, one of the better athletes in Section 2. Tough matchup for D'Agostino, giving away some size.
Going to be playing football next year at the University of Buffalo. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. D'Agostino drives, passes into Morin, a great pass, but Ryan Morin can't finish. CBA has possession. Here come the brothers. Dool drives, has it slapped away by D'Agostino. Keeps it himself and gets it to go. And Gilderland with an early 4-2 lead.
Tough shot for a 2-on-1 break, but the defense did not commit right away. D'Agostino makes the tough one after coming up with a huge steal. Dool tries to put the ball on the floor. Got to look for those quick hands.
Monahan thinks about the 3, but is fouled by Doug GJ. It's going to be his first, the team's first.
One way of accommodating or making up for the lack of size is moving your feet quickly and possibly using your hands. Gilliland able to get some steals as they do right there.
The inbounds pass was tipped away, and now for some insightful insight, we go to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Thanks, guys. You know, Tom mentioned Daytwan Hemingway and what kind of an athlete he is. He's actually going to the University of Buffalo on a Division I football scholarship. So some real good talent in this game. Back to you guys.
Hemingway's the type of kid that could probably play any sport if he put his mind to it, whether it be lacrosse, football, basketball. He's just that type of athlete. Defensively, he's the catalyst for CBA.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. D'Agostino drives and gets it to go. Was it on the floor?
On the floor out near the foul line, but I like the way Steve D'Agostino is attacking this man-to-man defense, giving away some size, but he's not afraid, never has been. D'Agostino taking it right down the heart of the defense, drawing that foul.
Well, most of the time, Tom, he's the smallest guy on the floor, and he leads Section 2 in free throws. So he's aggressive. He attacks that basket.
90%. We don't even shoot that in our yard. He does it in the games.
Beautiful pass from Hemingway inside to Monahan, who has it blocked. And here come the Dutchmen. Basic drives. Nifty scoop shot with the left hand. He can't get it to go, but Ryan Morin can.
Great foul by the big guy, Ryan Morin, the junior, 6'6". He's got a tall task against the front line of CBA, showing that he can get an easy putback, just like the brothers can.
Bova being guarded by Podgorski. Foglia. Top of the key to Hemingway. Over to Dool for 3. No good. Rebound, D'Agostino.
4 Dutchmen on the inside for that defensive rebound. Solid defensive stop right there for Gilderland.
Basic. Drives with Foglia on him tightly. Passes over to D'Agostino, who's got to take it back out. Reset. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. 4:05 left in the first quarter of this AA sectional championship. D'Agostino to GJ. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Hemingway.
Constant movement for Gilliland. Steve D'Agostino setting up another teammate for an open look.
Bova to Dool. Monahan thought about the 3, but moves in about 3 feet and knocks down the 15-foot jumper on the right elbow. And now the brothers cut the lead to 2. It's 6-4 Gilderland in the first quarter.
You see the size of Dool help defense right there, getting the block shot. Let's see if it can turn into a transition scoring opportunity.
Of course, Duel will be playing his college basketball next year for Tom Brennan up in Vermont.
Well, there's a lot of people on this CBA team that will be playing in college. Like we already mentioned, Hemingway playing football, but between Bova, Duel, and Monahan, those guys have a lot of basketball left in them after high school.
The miss by Monahan, the rebound by Tim Bassett. 3 minutes left in this contest. Or in this first quarter, I should say. Morin, jumper from the right elbow, good.
D'Agostino with the assist. That play set up with the respect of D'Agostino at the three-point line. Morin steps out after the screen and roll. Instead of rolling to the basket, he pops out near the three-point line and hits the open jumper. The one thing Gilliland has been able to do early on is manufacture open shots.
CBA head coach Dave Domel has seen enough. There's a replay. Morin wide open. No one respecting his jumper. They might now.
No one within 10 feet. And again, it's set up by Steve D'Agostino. You talk about one guy having such an effect on a team. Steve D'Agostino was respected for his outside shooting and his dribble penetration.
Time to send it over to the third party of our broadcast team, Damian Andrew. Damian.
Hey guys, you talk about Gildan, a great start for them. This is only the fourth team ever to go undefeated in the Suburban Council. That's quite a feat. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, David. And if that doesn't impress you enough, going through the stats and researching today, I was more impressed, Tom, with Guilderland's 2 losses. They were to Utica Proctor, a state power, and they were in those games. I mean, they only lost by an average of about 5 points. And, of course, Utica Proctor, they got a kid by the name of Josh Wright, who now is at Oak Hill Academy. But when he was there, I mean, he dropped about 50 points a game on Guilderland. And the Dutchmen were in those games. They had a chance to win the second one.
Well, we haven't really talked much about the coaching staff for both teams. Ron Osinski at Gildan, Dave Domel at CBA. 2 men I know well, and they're just great ambassadors for the game, and just the way they can teach the game of basketball is a big part of why these 2 teams have been successful.
Joe Bova knocked down the jumper to cut that Dutchman lead to 2. D'Agostino over to Justin Maxwell, who's in for the first time. Maxwell kicks it over to Jason Ford, who drives, kicks it out to Greg Bankowski, who can't get it to go. Rebound, Josh Duel.
Gilliland again, another open look. They're getting a lot of open looks because of dribble penetration. The size of CBA, if they can contain the Dutchman, then they'll have a better chance of evening this score.
Brothers still out there with their original starting 5. Guilderland made a substitution of Ford and Maxwell and Bankowski.
Well, they lost nothing in the tenacity department as Gilliland hitting the boards hard. And Podgorski, a little left-handed spin move right there by the senior.
What a move. And that extends the Dutchman lead. 10-6, 1:20 left in this first quarter. And I think it's been everything we thought it would be. CBA and Guilderland. Bova, jumper, gets it to go.
Big time move right there. One dribble pull up, elevating over his defender using his size.
Maxwell goes baseline but stepped out of bounds. It's going to be CBA ball.
Bova back-to-back hoops for the brothers. This has been a close game, a tightly contested game. The emotion of this game has not overtaken these 2 teams.
We are now officially under 1 minute in the first quarter. CBA now, of course, making some substitutions of their own. Dan Kirchner is in at the point guard. Bova tries to go baseline, but has it blocked by Jason Ford.
Gotta love the help defense. Bova's been able to go by his defender, this time to his left along the left baseline. But the help defense, like we mentioned there, to stop that drive. Gildan staying man-to-man. Actually, they go 2-3 zone on the out-of-bounds play.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. Duel. Nice up and under move. Gets his own rebound, gets the putback, and we are tied at 10.
Well, he didn't have his balance on the first shot, but he was smart enough to throw it off the board to himself. He went and got it and laid it back in. There's where we see the real trouble for the Dutchman, containing and winning the battle of the boards.
Ford drives, spins, thought about it, but now gives it up to Bankowski. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. There's 15 left in the game. There's about a 5-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Ford for 3, has it blocked. 1 second left on the shot clock, but he's fouled. And I think that foul is going on Daytwan Hemingway.
You know, it's a nice luxury for Guilderland to have a player like Steve D'Agostino. Shot clock winding down. You put it in the hands of a great foul shooter, a great shooter, a guy that can create not only for himself but for his teammates. He finds an open man in the corner, and Ford is fouled, and it will be 3 foul shots.
Misses the first.
First foul shots of the game for both teams. For the intensity in this battle, refereeing has been quiet, which is what you love to see. Let the players decide the game on the court.
But I tell you, Tom, this Guilderland team loaded with guards. They can come at you with 4 or 5 different guards, whether they're starters or reserves off the bench. They are very loaded in the guard department.
Well, they will go 8 or 9 players deep, but the one common denominator is the fact that D'Agostino and Podgorski have to log a lot of minutes. And you know what? They're young enough. The adrenaline should carry them through any thoughts of being tired.
Ford gets 1 of the 3 to go. 5 seconds left. Kirshner over on the wing to Pete Raponi, who can't get it to go, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. You are watching the Class AA Section 2 Championships right here on Time Warner Cable. TW3. Guilderland leads by 1. And welcome back to the Edward F. McDonough Sports Complex on the campus of Hudson Valley Community College. Boy, we got a good one. It is the Section 2 AA Championships, Guilderland and CBA. Second quarter action is sponsored by Upstate Ford. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again. Alongside Tom Herter, Damian Andrew, our courtside reporter, I'm Joe Calderon. This is a good one. Guilderland up 1, 11-10. We're just starting the second quarter.
You would expect nothing less from these two teams. Hard-fought battle. Monahan muscling his way inside, unable to hit the reverse. Guilderland really collapsing down in the paint.
Ford playing a little bit of point, being guarded by Pete Raponi. Podgorski being guarded by Bova. Drives baseline. Look to kick it up or over to Steve D'Agostino, but has it blocked by Duell.
Dribble drive along the baseline, nowhere to go. A lot of brothers to look at. They got a hand on it, deflection. CBA comes up with a steal of their own.
Monahan drives, jumper off the side of the backboard, rebound Steve D'Agostino. Here come the Dutchman.
You love to see guard rebounds when you're a coach looking at your team at the defensive end.
By Kirchner, kicks it out to Maxwell. Nothing but an air ball, rebounded by Josh Duell. And the CBA faithful let him know about it.
Great crowd on hand. They're not going to miss anything.
Monahan over on the wing to Raponi, who dumps it inside to Bova. He'll get fouled and he'll go to the line for 2.
A lot of attention on the CBA players when they get on that low block. First foul call, the CBA was patient enough. They get the post entry. Bova with great position, just utilizing his size. Pick a player, I believe it was Podgorski. The quick double team by the Dutchman.
Joe Bova at the line. And we go to Damian Andrew.
Thanks, guys. I just talked with Section 2 Chairman Mike Lilac. They sold 3,300 tickets for this game. He says there's about 3,500 easy inside this building. Back over to you.
Guess that would mean we're one of 200 people that got in for free.
I was going to say, we got great seats and didn't have to pay a cent. Bova at the line. Missed the first, missed the second. Rebound, Morin.
Foul shot so important in a close game. Bova misses a couple from the charity stripe right there. He'll remember those.
Podgorski over to D'Agostino, who almost has it stripped by Dan Kirchner. 10 on the shot clock. D'Agostino drives. Nice pass inside to Doug GJ, who gets it to go, and it's a 3-point lead for Guilderland.
Great assist by D'Agostino, great finish. Little screen and roll. DJ kind of slips down to the baseline behind the defenders and able to get the easy lay-in.
Shot by Tim Staples, and he don't got that.
And now the Guilderland faithful letting
D'Agostino drives, can't get it to go. Joe Bova with the rebound, and here come the brothers.
Bova very versatile for 6'6", bringing the ball up the court in traffic after getting the rebound.
Bova for three. It's no good. The rebound by Podgorski, and he's fouled. And talking about Bova, he's got to be a matchup nightmare. I mean, he's quick. He can hit the jumper. He can elevate above taller or shorter defenders. And right there, as you see, I mean, Bova misses there, but most of the time, if you give him an open look, he's going to nail it.
Yeah, at the high school level, you're lucky to have a guy in your team that's 6'6", let alone one that can dribble, shoot from the outside, and post players up. So he's the real deal at this level, and I'm sure he's going to work on his game to become the real deal at the next level.
Podgorski to D'Agostino. Inside to Morin, who was looking to go reverse, but he travels. CBA ball.
Once again, D'Agostino getting into the heart of the CBA defense, finding an open player. But you know what? Morin had to put the ball on the floor. The respect of the front line of CBA, worrying about that block shot, gets the travel. I'm sure the junior would like to have that one back. If he goes up strong on the same side of the basket and tries to finish, maybe he gets the bucket, maybe he gets a foul.
Kirchner being guarded by Bassett. Bova. Over on the wing to Monahan, who takes the shot, misses, rebound, Duel, and he gets the putback.
Tough hoop right there by Josh Duel, able to get the weak side rebound and then fight through the defender for the big putback. CBA has really been held at bay on the offensive glass.
Podgorski inside, loses it out of bounds, and it's going to be CBA ball. We got about 4:33 left in this first half, and it's Guilderland with a 1-point lead over CBA.
CBA turning the tables right there on the dribble drive. Some quick hands with the help defense, able to create that turnover. That's Guilderland style against the taller CBA brothers.
Bova from about 8. Monahan with the rebound, can't get the putback, and here comes Guilderland again.
Can't leave him alone.
D'Agostino to GJ, the floater, and it's good.
Tough shot. Talk about a medium range game. That is a shot that was not around 15 years ago when I played in high school. You simply didn't take running jumpers along the baseline, but nowadays you see them a lot. DJ hits a big hoop to put the Dutchman back up by 3.
Monahan inside to Bova. Well, he's all over the place. He's at the top of the key, then they throw him down in the low post. The results are the same.
Well, the finishing around the goal right there, just like you said, his head is above everyone. He took the contact on the last shot that he missed from about 10 feet, but that one from about 4 feet, able to score over the smaller Dutchman.
Bassett being guarded by Foglia. D'Agostino, top of the key, being guarded by Kircher. He heaves up a 3, off the back of the iron, and rebound, Joe Bova. Duel over to Foglia, who kicks it over to Bova. 15 left on the shot clock. Bova to Monahan. Got that foot back behind the three-point line. I think he thought about it for a second, but kicked the cross-court pass over to Duel.
CBA playing with the basketball on the perimeter. They've got the size. They're not trying to get the ball inside.
Shot clock violation.
Shot of desperation. Big-time rebound on the weak side by Podgorski.
They're going to call Foglia for the foul.
Now you have to love the mental approach of these Dutchmen because they're playing tough defense, and then they're closing out those tough defensive assignments by getting a rebound. That's what it's all about. You give up easy putbacks, and they would find themselves in the hole. But right now, Dutchmen holding on to a 1-point lead. Tell you what, we've got ourselves a great basketball game.
This is what it's supposed to be all about. In case you're wondering at home, leading scorer for CBA, Joe Bova. For Guilderland, Doug GJ, and, well, we may have to change that. D'Agostino now with 5. But Doug GJ and Ryan Morin lead the Dutchman with 6. Kirchner off glass.
You got to call that one, but that's a big answer. DJ having a huge half for the Dutchman. Kirchner, the energy guy off the bench for CBA, provides them with a little three-pointer, and he kisses it home.
The nice pass inside to D'Agostino, who fires it to Morin, and it's going to stay on this end of the floor. Out of bounds on CBA.
I think these guys want this game. Doug Duell using his entire body to go after that one. The only thing I feel sorry for is the floor that he landed on, but great hustle by the senior, leaving everything out there.
It's 18-17 Guilderland, 1:43 left in the first half.
I got DJ for 9 points in the early going. We mentioned this is a game these guys will remember for the rest of their lives. DJ has definitely come out pumped up, provides some huge scoring for the Dutchman.
D'Agostino goes to the hoop and is fouled. And you're coming into this game, Tom, I felt if you broke it apart, and you can make numbers basically say whatever you want them to say, but I felt that if Guilderland was going to win, they would have to have that third scoring option. You know what you're going to get out of Steve D'Agostino. You know what you're going to get out of Greg Gorski. But they had to have that third scoring option. And if Doug GJ can continue to do what he's been doing in the first half, Guilderland might get their first sectional championship.
No question. At any level, whether you're playing fourth grade basketball or college basketball or professional basketball, it comes down to making shots. And right now, DJ's making shots for the Dutchman. I agree completely. So much focus on the other guards, D'Agostino and Podgorski. If someone can be left open, they're going to knock down shots. And right there, you go to the strength of the brothers. I just mentioned how CBA had gotten away from themselves a little bit, not getting the ball inside. And Duell, just a man amongst boys on that play, finishing through the contact, showing why he's going to Vermont, as we see the replay.
Just too big and too strong for that front court for Guilderland. And that's obviously the advantage for CBA when you go with Monahan and Duell, and then when you switch it up with Boba and Hemingway sometimes. I mean, they're 6'6", 6'6", and 6'5" across.
Absolutely, and right there, CBA takes their first lead of the basketball game. They had tied things up, but the first time they have gotten over the hump against this game-scrappy Dutchman team.
Podgorski looking to set the pick to D'Agostino. D'Agostino over to GJ. Nice move on the baseline, and you know what? I think Brian Monahan kind of gave up on that. I think he thought he was going to pass it outside, and he backed off him just a little bit and got that nice scoop shot underneath.
Crafty little move right there by GJ as he, little ball fake, gets Monahan looking the other way, a little finger roll, finishes it.
30 seconds left in this game, 20 on the shot clock. Duell's three, no good. Rebound by Steve D'Agostino, and well, smartly, he's going to look for one more shot. And Ron Osinski going to call it
out because Guilderland is expending so much energy just to keep the brothers off the glass. They take the timeout just to get a quick breather, set up a play. Ron Osinski loves to run a lot of sets, so right now he'll try to get something going to get maybe D'Agostino or Podgorski a little room to either create or get an open shot. You have to love the start by GJ, though.
Well, there are the numbers. Total points by the Dutchman and the brothers. These two teams in the scoring department kind of carbon copies of each other, both right around that 70 points per game mark. Field goals, well, that's a different story. CBA ranked 5th in Section 2. Guilderland ranked 30th. But that hasn't hurt them so far. They got a 1-point lead in this one. There's that move. And I'm convinced Brian Monahan thought he was just going to get rid of it.
Well, I also think he thought they had him trapped, GJ, along the baseline. Duell, I believe, had to leave and play his man. Monahan really playing alongside of him, gave up that baseline.
Watch out for GJ. He's been the hot hand for Guilderland in the first half.
These two teams can put up a lot of points. We've seen it early on.
7 seconds left to GJ. Gets it to go. 3, 2, 1. Bova's three doesn't go, and Guilderland has a 3-point lead going into the locker room. Boy, this has been a good one. It is the Section 2 AA Boys Championship, and let's kick it over to Damian Andrews. Got an interview for us. Damian.
Thanks, Joe. I am here with CBA head coach Dave Domel. What do you tell your guys at the half? Guilderland's bringing everything at you.
Well, I think we got to defend the screen roll a little bit better.
We have to be cautious about what kind of offense we run. We're taking some shots that we shouldn't be taking, and I think we have to be a little bit more selective.
Coach, how do you slow down D'Agostino?
You don't slow him down. You just try to keep in front of him and hope that you contain the other guys. Right now, we're not doing a very good job of that.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Damian. There's your score after 2 quarters. Guilderland right now leading CBA 23-20. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here watching the sectional AA championships right here on TW3. Get alongside the Siena legend. I'll take the money a little later. Tom Herter. I'm Joe Calderon. Of course, Damian Andrew is a third part of this broadcast team. And boy, the first half, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I think this is everything we thought it would be and more.
No question. An exciting half as we see Guilderland really utilizing the screen and roll like Coach Domel had mentioned. And they're getting some shots. GJ is stepping up and hitting some huge shots. Steve D'Agostino has been the catalyst, has been able to create shots for his teammates, and you have to give credit to Guilderland on the defensive end. They're really doing a great job on the glass. They have to if they want to stay in this game.
Well, coming into this matchup, I felt that CBA probably from 1 to 5 had the ability to go to that third, fourth, maybe even a fifth scoring option. And I felt that if Guilderland was going to be competitive in this game or win the sectional championship, they would have to have that third or fourth scoring option as well. And Doug GJ has just been lights out in the first half.
Yeah, he's been tremendous, and he's really been slipping on that screen and roll, losing his defender and getting some easy shots inside. Of course, he's got some shots from the perimeter as well. I think CBA needs to settle down, like Coach Domel said, get the ball inside to their strength and really utilize their post players, make Guilderland have to play big. If Guilderland has to play big, they may have trouble. But you know what? It's a close game, and CBA probably thinks they haven't played good basketball yet. Guilderland just plays with so much intensity. They are playing great basketball.
Well, now it's time to go to our well of knowledge. Damian Andrew, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. A little noisy in here. That's why I'm holding my ear. But, Tom, you and Joe said it best. D'Agostino, this is my first time seeing him live. He is the catalyst. He is neutralizing in this first half CBA's size. So head coach Ron Ozinski for Guilderland said he's not tall, he's not big, but he makes up for that with the mental determination and a great shooting touch. We haven't seen the shooting touch, but he has that ability and that knack and that it to create on the floor. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Damian. Doing a great job, as always. A key stat here, I think every time you look at a team and how they did in the first half of a contest, you got to look at field goal percentage. Guilderland, 50% from the field. CBA, 33% from the field, and almost picking up where they left off in that semifinal game against LaSalle when they shot about 35% from the field.
Well, it's actually surprising. Guilderland a little bit more patient offensively, really picking their spots, going 10 to 20 from the field. CBA getting more shots off, but not shooting as well with only 9 field goals. So Guilderland shooting the ball well, and hey, when you play against a bigger team where you're giving away size, you have to shoot the ball well. Guilderland's strength is their guards, and they've definitely played to that strength in the first half.
Well, if you're joining us late and you wanted to catch the whole thing, all you have to do is check out Time Warner Cable Channel 3, the Boys Sectional AA Championship. We're going to replay it Thursday, March the 11th at 7 o'clock. And if you can't catch it then, well, you can tune in on Saturday, March the 13th at noon. So if you don't see this game, hey, it's not our fault. We're giving you every opportunity to check it out. Now we're going to go check over with Damian Andrew. Damian.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Hudson Valley Community College, Sandy Drumluck. What an atmosphere for a high school basketball game.
This is unbelievable. This is the first time I've been in this gym with a high school atmosphere like this. It's deafening. It's great.
How great is this for Hudson Valley to be part of something like this, offer the resources to these high schools to come in here and play?
As an admissions guy, this is a dream come true. We've got over probably between 3,500 and 4,000 people here today. We had a couple thousand here over the weekend for the girls tournament. To have this kind of publicity and this kind of attention, it's great. It's great for the college. It's great for the admissions office.
Yeah, I was going to say, as an admissions guy, this has got to be great for you because these fans come in here. Who knows? Maybe some Hudson Valley Community College future students.
Exactly. When I work in admissions, we have interviews where the families come into my office. It's very rare that I'll have someone that says that's their first time on campus because they've been to something like this. They've been to the garden and flower show. They've been to the craft fair. Something's brought them to campus, and if they just catch an idea of something academically that they might be interested in, go on to a 4-year school or get a job right after graduating, then makes our job all that much easier.
Sandy, great joining you at halftime. Thanks so much for joining us, and we're going to send it back to Joe and Tom.
Thanks a lot, Damian. This is a great facility. If they get more enrollment, maybe we get a cut out of the tuition. I don't know. Second half action coming up in just a bit. The Section 2 AA Championships for boys right here on TW3. You're watching the Section 2 AA Boys Championships right here on TW3. Guilderland up 23-20 over CBA. We're just getting ready for second half action.
Seems like it was a half that went by too quickly. Some great basketball. These two teams would probably love to play for a long time unless they have the lead. Guilderland would love to end it right now.
Well, there's your leading scorers. Lower left hand of your screen, Doug GJ with 13 points. Josh Duell for CBA with 7. And here we go. About 40 minutes away to find out what Section 2 team in the AA is going to represent, well, Section 2 in the state tournament.
Something tells me we're going to hear from the leading scorers for these two teams, Monahan and D'Agostino, before this thing is out. Guilderland with first possession of the second half creates a turnover. Not a lot of turnovers in the first half. I believe that's Guilderland's third of the game. CBA had 3 as well.
Here comes Boba. Hemingway over to Duell, who's at the top of the key. They're working it around the perimeter. Looks like Guilderland's in the 2-3. Nope, it's man-to-man.
Man-to-man, but just sagging in, really baiting CBA into the perimeter shots, taking away the inside game.
Foglia off the front of the rim, rebound. Podgorski, the outlet pass to D'Agostino, who gets it to go. And they extend their lead. It's 25-20, Guilderland.
Little guard breakout. Steve D'Agostino knew his teammate had it. He goes from defense to offense so quickly and finishes with ease.
Duell, the up and the under. The big fella gets it to go, and he's going to try to get 3 the old-fashioned way.
Tell you what, you want to see why a kid may be going Division I. You see a lot of kids with the size of Josh Duell, but you don't see a lot of kids with a double drop step that is able to fake, keep his composure, and then finish. That's an impressive move by Duell, showing why CBA definitely has some weapons inside. Patience for the brothers will pay off if they continue to pound the ball inside.
And there you go. Gets the free throw to go, and we now go over to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Thanks, Joe. Tom Herter knows what it's like to play Division I college basketball. Josh Duell will find out next season at the University of Vermont. Nice addition, Tom, don't you think, to Tom Brennan's staff up there?
No question. I think, give him a year to get adjusted to the college game, and he'll be a nice addition, just like you mentioned. Tom Brennan, a great coach of Vermont. I think Duell can finish around the hoop, got a nice touch. He'll be a nice addition up there. But you know what? Hopefully he's got a lot more basketball to play at CBA.
Well, I was going to say, I'm insulted. Andrew doesn't ask me. I play men's league, There's Tim Vasic with the three-point basket. 28-23, Guilderland.
That's a big answer right there. Vasic taking the CBA crowd out of it a little bit after the three-point play by Duell. Duell had a three-point play to end the first half. Starts off the second half. And here we see the three-point shooting is lighting up.
Bova answers with a 3 of his own. And that cuts the lead to 2. Guilderland up 28-26. D'Agostino. Boy, I tell you, obviously not at the same skill level, but his game reminds me an awful lot of Allen Iverson's. They're smaller guys, but they're not afraid to go in there and get banged around.
Well, it comes down to having a knack for making shots. And right there, you see D'Agostino has been practicing every type of shot his whole life. He's got a knack for putting the ball in the basket. And I tell you what, that is something you cannot replace. Talked about before the game. This game is going to come down to making shots and both teams trading baskets.
And there's the replay. Giving up almost a foot to Josh Duell, but that doesn't scare him.
There's no fear in those eyes.
It's 30-26, Guilderland. Monahan, the entry pass inside. The Duell, who has it ripped away by Doug GJ. That looked like, well, there's GJ right there. Boy, not bad. Pretty strong to get it away from the 6'7" fella.
I like that exchange on both efforts because CBA had the patience to pound the ball inside. Duell was hot, their leading scorer. And he just had a great move for a three-point play. And I also love the help down by GJ. You have to dig down. If the big guy's going to try to put it on the floor, a guard has to be there to try to knock it away, help out more inside.
Of course, that was the jump ball. Possession stays with CBA. Monahan. Over to Bova for three. Boy, I tell you, you leave him open on the wing like that or at the top of the key for a split second and he'll kill you.
Well, we talk about Steve D'Agostino and the amount of jump shots he has taken in his life. You look at this shot, catch, square, shoot, perfect rotation, perfect release. Bova's taken a few jumpers in his lifetime as well.
Let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Damian Andrew. Damian.
Guys, I think you'll agree, not the guy Guilderland wants to see get hot. He had 2 big threes in overtime of their semifinal win over LaSalle the other night up in Glens Falls. Joe Bova, I'm talking about. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Damian. Bova, 12 points, 7 rebounds.
You want a guy in your team who is not afraid to step up and take big shots, because the guys that aren't afraid to take big shots are going to make big shots, and Bova definitely does that for CBA. And so does this guy right now.
I was going to say. Goes baseline with Kirchner on it. Over to Ryan Morey. Podgorski misses, and Monahan with the rebound.
Really one of the few poor decisions shot selection-wise in this game. Podgorski forcing a little bit.
Foglia for three, no good, but the rebound by Kirchner. Foglia chuck it up again. This time it's good. And CBA now has themselves a 2-point lead. They're on top of Guilderland, 32-30.
Well, I like the mentality right there. I haven't met too many Foglias that didn't like to shoot the basketball. Foglia gets 2 chances, makes the Dutchman pay on the second one. Second chance point for CBA. We expected a lot of them. That's really the first one that seems to be a dagger.
Oh, there you go. Section 2 rankings for free throws. And both these teams get to the line. They're number 1 and 2 in the section. 3-pointers, as you can see, Guilderland chucks him up, ranked number 1 with 162. CBA, they don't go to it unless they have to. They're the 23rd ranked team in Section 2 in 3-pointers. Here's the replay. Foglia missed the first, and they're Kirchner with the rebound. Foglia's like, I'm open. I might as well take another. That time he hits it.
Shooters shoot the basketball. You don't worry about your last shot. You just take the next one like it's going to go in every single time.
Joe Bova right now has scored the last 9 points for CBA, 3 for 4 from 3-point range. CBA with a 32-30 lead over Guilderland.
CBA extending themselves a little bit. They like to trap or extend themselves to half court. You won't see them go full court very often. Right there, they almost get the 5-second call. A little diversion for the Dutchman.
Out of bounds. It's going to go to CBA.
Crucial point of the game right now as we see the momentum swing in the hands of CBA. Dutchman get a poor shot at the offensive end, now a turnover. CBA has a chance to extend their biggest lead of the game.
And at the next dead ball, Daquan Hemingway and Joe Bova getting ready to check in.
Quick breather for those two.
Kirchner being guarded by Tim Basic. Foglia and D'Agostino. Foglia up, can't get it to go. Rebound, duel. Boy, he would have loved for that to go. But he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
You have to love the energy of Josh Duell on the offensive glass. You know, it gets to a point when you're giving away size and weight in the second half, you start to tire out. And I think Duell right now is wearing down the smaller Dutchman and just starting to get some offensive rebounds that could hurt Guilderland. Guilderland really needs to take a look at this point in the game and either get a big bucket, as we see Foglia miss the short jumper, feeling it after hitting the 3, but there's Duell on the weak side.
And both teams making substitutions. You got Jason Ford, Justin Maxwell, Greg Bankowski entering the game for Guilderland, Daquan Hemingway, and Joe Bova back in the game. And as far as the turnover department is concerned, this has been a very solid game by both teams. Guilderland with 7, CBA with just 2 turnovers. D'Agostino misses, rebound, Bankowski, and you can take that to the bank.
Big putback for the Dutchman. as D'Agostino, a rare air ball from the top of the key, but Bankowski, who's genetically gifted, he's got some talent in his family, able to get the putback.
CBA up just one. Bova.
And right there,
inside for two.
That's CBA basketball. I think Gildan's going to see a lot of that as we get to close out this game.
D'Agostino wide open for three. Can't get it to go. Rebound Bova. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Bova on the low block a lot. He's got probably a 6, maybe even 7-inch advantage over anybody that's guarding him. But he'll take the jumper. Misses. Daquan Hemingway can't get it to go, but Brian Monahan's got his back.
Right now, the brothers are wearing down the Dutchman, just hurting them on the offensive glass with athletes.
Podgorski drives, misses. They'll go out of bounds on Gilderland. CBA's ball. Looks like Ron Osinski's seen enough right now. He takes the timeout.
Well, there's definitely a big momentum swing in the favor of CBA as they have. Foglia hits the big three, and then Podgorski, as we see him split in the defense, just comes up a little bit short. You know why? I think Gildan a little bit tired. They need the timeout for the most part to catch their breath and catch their leg. They've been battling and boxing out the bigger CBA team all game long, and I think that fatigue is starting to come to the forefront.
Let's check in with our buddy, Damian Andrew, Big D.
Hey guys, I'm actually right next to you, sitting courtside with the head coach of the St. Rose men's basketball program, a great coach, Brian Bury. One of the many college coaches in attendance, I might add, here tonight, looking at some of this talent on the floor. First of all, your impressions of this game.
Oh, this is a great high school basketball game in an unbelievable environment. This is one of the greatest games I've seen in the Capital District in many years.
Section 2 basketball, a wealth of talent, wouldn't you say? I mean, I know you're recruiting a couple of guys on the floor. Can't talk specifically about them, but just talk about Section 2 basketball talent in general.
Well, we've always recruited locally. We believe that our program is about local kids, and that's something that we're committed to year over year. And we feel very strongly if we can get a couple of guys out of the Capital District each year, that we would do well in our league.
Thanks, Coach Bury. Another successful season, I might add. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Damian. And I tell you, if you're a coach in the Capital Region, whether it's Rob Lanier or Brian Bury or Will Brown, when you come to a game like this, it's got to be like an all-you-can-eat salad bar because there's just so much talent on the floor at the same time.
There's no question. Important to keep the local guys at home because you know why? They bring a lot of fans to the game.
Daquan Hemingway had 2, 3, 4 chances, but now he'll go to the line for 2. Couldn't get it to go, but he'll get his 2 free throws. There's the replay.
Well, we saw Gilderland win the battle of the boards in the first half, 16-14, but there's no question that CBA is making up for it right here in the third quarter. Hemingway, another gifted athlete in the arsenal of CBA. He misses the first foul shot. Foul shooting has not been stellar for either team, but nonetheless, CBA really starting to get it done with the points in the paint.
And we talk about the athletes on the floor, but I know a number of these kids that are out there tonight, just class acts too. Just great kids. Well, also happen to be very talented basketball players.
It starts with great leadership. Great leadership starts with coaches that make sure the guys do it the right way, off the court first, in the classroom, and of course on the court. Both coaches stress that. And you know what? These two teams, like you said, are a good indication of that.
Podgorski to Morin, who can't get it to go. Had a great look.
Missed opportunities right there. Those are the type of plays that you think back to for a long time.
1:35 left in the third quarter. Bova feeds Duel, being guarded by Morin. Kicks it over to Kirchner, who finds Morin wide open for 3. Bank shot. It's good. And now CBA extends their lead to 9, 41-32.
Brian Monahan's got a little bit of a smile on his face. I'm not sure if he called that, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It goes in the book as a three-pointer.
Podgorski, his three-pointer off the front of the rim. Rebound, guess who? Joe Bova. 1 minute left in the third. CBA looking to extend its lead. Hemingway with about 3 Dutchmen around him.
Gillen had that steal in their hands. Hemingway just fights to get it back.
Kirchner. Feet duel inside. Back to Kirchner. Good! 4-3. Textbook in and back out.
Great post entry, great post kick out. Kirchner, his second three of the game. That is definitely a bonus for Dave Domel, as he usually provides a great deal of defensive spark and leadership on the court. Kirchner comes up with a huge shot, and again, the momentum continues to stay with the brothers.
Inside, he draws the double team, kicks it back out to Kirchner, who leaves that right hand up in the air. Gilderland better watch out. This is starting to get away from them. We send it over to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Thanks, guys. I actually have a question for our analyst tonight. Did you ever play in atmospheres like this at Burnt Hills? I know you made it to two Section 2 semifinal games. Unfortunately, lost both of those games. But what an atmosphere here tonight. And by the way, even though you did lose in both of those games, I'd take a trip to the big dance any day of the week.
Yeah, there's no question. I remember that one a lot more than those losses. But to answer your question, probably a little bit smaller stage. We used to have some great battles as I went to Burnt Hills against Shenendehowa with some great players over at Shen. But you know what? Playing in a college like this as a high school player filled up, this is a great environment. You know, it says a lot for these two programs and the two schools to have this many people at this game.
I tell you, if they didn't turn people away at the door, you could probably easily have 4,500, maybe 5,000 in this place.
This is what you love. You love this, environment. You can't say it's a small environment, because for high school basketball, this is a big environment, but it's the perfect size facility because they filled it up and the noise is just deafening. Just a great environment for these kids to be playing in.
Shot clock is on. 25 seconds left in the third. CBA went on a 17-2 run. They now have a 12-point lead. D'Agostino just past the timeline, being guarded by Dan Kirchner. 10 seconds left. GJ, jumper, no good. Rebound by Justin Maxwell. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Taking it a little bit out of the page of Larry Bird, trying that shot from behind the backboard.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That worked back when Larry Bird made it, but after a couple of years, they said that's out of bounds.
Hemingway over to Kirchner. Half-court shot. No good. And we got one more quarter to go. The winner of this, of course, will represent Section 2 in the state tournament. Will it be CBA? Will it be Guilderland? You're going to have to stick around to find out. We'll be back. And welcome back. CBA over Guilderland, heading into the fourth. 44-32, and of course, special thanks to Child Health Plus for sponsoring today's championship game. Child Health Plus, New York State's health plan for kids.
Well, not only did CBA outscore Guilderland 24-9 in that quarter, they also out-rebounded them 13-1, and just did a great job on the offensive glass.
D'Agostino throws up a three. No good. Rebound, Bova, and there you go. Lower left hand. CBA in that third quarter. 24-9.
Hard to overcome. And you know what? It's almost like the Guilderland faithful are waiting for one of those three-point shots by Steve D'Agostino to get knocked down. And they definitely do not want to see three-point shots like that from Brian Monahan to be knocked down.
47-32, and the Dutchmen, they better fix whatever's wrong, or this one could get away from them quick. GJ to D'Agostino. Being guarded by Kirchner. Drives, throws it up, and it's going to be, it looks like a holding call. Looked like it was on Bova. Oh, nope, 12. That's Dan Kirchner.
Well, you like the assertiveness of Steve D'Agostino, because leading scorer on the team, averaging over 20 points per game. He needs to step up right now. Team is in desperation mode. There's still plenty of time. 7-11 to go in this game, but it is a 15-point deficit. Guilderland needs to score some points and get some stops.
Greg Podgorski over to GJ. Drives, kicks it to Podgorski. Looks for the contact, doesn't get it. Rebound, Monahan.
Help defenders for CBA are extremely big when you're Greg Podgorski, as he runs into Josh Gould, who steps up, closes down the lane, gets the block.
Bova being hounded by Podgorski. Duel to Kirchner. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Monahan, 5 left on the shot clock from way downtown. Bova hustles and gets the rebound, and boy, when you get it right down to about 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and then you get the offensive rebound, that's just killer, especially when you're up by 15.
Comes down to size and strength right there. Bova going up against Podgorski and D'Agostino. Podgorski at 6'1", giving away 5 inches. The second chance points have really hurt the Dutchman in the second half. CBA giving them a steady diet of 3-pointers and post scoring just off second chance opportunities.
Bova with the inbounds to Monahan for 3. Rims out, rebound, GJ. And here come the Dutchmen. D'Agostino drives to Morin at the free throw line. It's no good. Rebound, Duel. And with about 5:50 left in this game, Guilderland down by 15. They got to get some baskets in a hurry.
14-0 run for CBA. Guilderland had just gone cold from the field.
D'Agostino looking to bounce it off Kirchner, but can't. Hemingway tried to get it to go, but Monahan has the rebound and the putback, and he's just telling the rest of his teammates, let's go. They're up by 17.
Great hustle. CBA is just playing like a man amongst boys right now. Steve D'Agostino, creative along the baseline. He's not going to give up.
Timeout. Dave Domil and CBA, and talk about hustle. Now they're down by about 17, and D'Agostino not going to give up very easily.
Now that's the first basket in a long time for the Dutchman as that broke a 16-0 run by CBA. Just a tough stretch for the Dutchman.
Well, of course, state tournament starting next week. Regional girl finals right here at Hudson Valley Community College. And there's the schedule. The D's all the way down to the AA starting at noon.
So show up at 11:45 and you can stay till almost midnight. That's a lot of basketball right there.
Then, of course, the boys' regional finals up at the Glens Falls Civic Center starting Saturday, March the 13th. The D finals start at 11. And that wraps up with the AA finals at 8:15. So if you're a hoops junkie next week, either here, Hudson Valley, or at Glens Falls, or both.
Quick shot of that basket by Steve D'Agostino. Just the resiliency. He gives up a lot of size, and it seems probably every battle he faces, but somehow he figures out a way to will his team to victory. He's done it all season long for Guilderland.
D'Agostino almost gets the steal. Kirchner. Monahan back to Kirchner. The nice pass inside to a cutting Daytwan Hemingway, but he's going to get called for the charge.
Well, you like the patience of CBA on that offensive possession. Monahan not being baited and taking that early 3, but then the cut back door by Hemingway. Great play by Podgorski to step in for the charge.
Time to send it over to Damian Andrew. Damian. Or we'll keep it here. 4:35 left in this contest. CBA with a commanding 15-point lead. Ryan Morin's going to get called for the travel, and now time to send it over to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Hey guys, we're up here in the stands. An unbelievable atmosphere, as we mentioned earlier. Phil and Dave, they got their chests painted. Great atmosphere of high school basketball, huh?
Oh yeah, CBA, we've got the best fans in the Capital District.
You gotta like the scoreboard.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I'm pumped. I've been screaming the whole time. I don't even have a voice anymore. I love it.
Guys, it's kind of bedlam up here. I can barely hear. We're gonna send it back to you.
And I'm glad they sent you up there. I'd get eaten up alive in the stands.
Call was reversed on the floors before the travel was called. They called the foul before. D'Agostino, you love the creativity. How does he see more?
Monahan to Bova on the other end.
Right back at him. The Dutchman can't afford to trade baskets. Transition opportunity for CBA.
D'Agostino drives, and Kirchner's going to get called for the foul. A little bit of hack on the arm.
You love the ability of Steve D'Agostino to split the trap as you see it right there, and Kirchner gets called. Good call by the referees on the reach-in. D'Agostino just a tough kid to guard.
Both teams with 5 team fouls. D'Agostino, nice quick move to the hoop, kicks it out to Podgorski, who hits the 3. 51-39 CBA. Duel to Hemingway, has it blocked by Morin. Duel still gets the rebound though. Morin slaps at the ball, and he's going to get called for the foul.
And just when Gildan had gone on a little bit of a run of their own, you see Doug Duel picking up the first block right across the arm. Great job on the replay right there. Gildan definitely needs some three-point baskets. Podgorski's been cold. He hits a big one for Gildan. 3:38 left to go in this game. Still plenty of time.
Gets the first to go. Entering the game for CBA, Pete Raponi. Duel gets the second one to go. 3:38 left in the fourth. CBA up 53-39. D'Agostino takes it to the rack. I tell you something. That kid, you want to talk about heart. You look it up in the dictionary, and there's a nice little 8x10 with his face right on it.
No question, no question. That's just fun to watch right there. Dutchman desperately looking for a stop right now. They're on a little bit of a run of their own, 9-4.
CBA trying to protect that 12-point lead. Monahan, foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Just a lot of size and a lot of strength and a lot of athleticism as Monahan had the ball knocked away, but just all the little breaks seem to be going the brothers' ways. He's able to come up with that basketball again and get fouled, something we're probably going to see a lot of down the stretch. Christian Brothers Academy on the line.
Well, let's send it over to Damian Andrew again. Damian.
All right, once again, I can barely hear. Unbelievable atmosphere here with Bill from Guilderland. What does your team need to do to get back in this game?
We gotta get some intensity. There's no intensity out there. Now it's to start hitting these three-pointers, and we're back in this.
By the way, I love the face paint, Bill.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's send it back courtside.
Well, I tell you, Andrew gets the cushy gig. You know, he gets to hang out with the kids. Well, there's the move again, and Morin with that foul. Well, he fouled out of the game. That was his 5th.
And Morin has been a big factor for the Dutchmen, especially in the first half, as they did a great job on the glass. He's going to be sorely missed down the stretch at 6'6". Tallest player for Guilderland. They need his size against this formidable front line of CBA. Damian Andrew, I'm just impressed he's getting out of the stands alive. Got a great crowd on hand. I think the fans should start painting his face. Make sure he has some battle scars leaving this arena.
The numbers on Ryan Morin. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Tim Bassick is fouled. Look like it's going to be on Pete Raponi.
Good long rebound right there. I believe it's on Brian Monahan with the reach.
It is Monahan.
Talking about insult to injury, missed 2 foul shots, then you pick up a foul. No bonus yet for the brothers.
Justin Maxwell being guarded by Raponi. Maxwell over to Bankowski. Bankowski to Podgorski, who kicks it over to Doug GJ, and he had a hot first half. You really didn't hear from him much in the second half. He gets the bank shot to go, and it's a 10-point lead for CBA.
GJ, that little running flip shot off the glass, effective right there.
And if you're Guilderland, you just want to get this down to about 8 or 9. D'Agostino with the steal. Pass Boba. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line to try to get it down to 8.
Steve D'Agostino, how quickly he gets in the passing lanes. That kid has not given up. Scrappy player. He's able to cut down the passing lane. We just catch the tail end of it. Then he's going right at Bova. A little change of direction. Draws the contact. Still gets the shot off with the left hand. You know, he looks slight of build, but he is definitely strong enough to get a shot like that off after taking contact from Joe Bova.
And a smart timeout by CBA head coach Dave Domil. So let's not let this get out of hand.
Well, D'Agostino goes to the line for some very important foul shots.
And now let's check in again with Damian Andrew. I don't know if he's in the stands or not, but we'll find out soon enough.
I can actually hear my cues now, guys. Unbelievable up there, the intensity and the fans, just great kids. But I got a quick story for you guys, and Joe, I know you'll appreciate this. Before every game, the Guilderland team gets together for dinner the night before every game. Last night they went over to Doug GJ's house and had, of all things, a little spaghetti. Joe, I know you'd love that. Back over to you guys.
What's the matter you? I like that. Time to look at the schedule for the replay of this AA sectional championship. If you just caught the tail end of it or you got to us at halftime, don't sweat it. Thursday, March the 11th, starting at 7. You can watch the whole thing. And then on Saturday, 7:30, right here on TW3, your home for local sports in the Capital Region.
Steve D'Agostino below his average, 11 points in this game. Looking to add to it, of course. But still a lot of time left for him to get up over that 20-point barrier. I know Ron Osinski would love to see D'Agostino put a lot of points on the board last 2:22 of this game.
With that bucket, D'Agostino, 13 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 2:22 left in the sectional championship. It's now an 8-point lead for CBA, and here comes that full court pressure. CBA did a good job of breaking.
Great ball movement by the brothers. Whenever you see a full court press, you love to break it via the pass instead of the dribble, and the brothers had the composure to do it right there.
15 left on the shot clock. Bova over to Monahan, who drives, kicks it to Kirchner. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Monahan, he's going to get called for the offensive foul.
A little bit too aggressive with that drop step. Nice little job by Podgorski to accentuate the contact a little bit.
And there's the replay. And as you said, Monahan a little bit more beefier than Doug GJ.
I'm sorry, I gave that Academy Award to the wrong person right there. GJ with the solid position. He had great position. And you know what, right there, that's where a bigger player, it's really easy to knock a slighter build player down to the ground, and Monahan gets called for the foul.
Let's send it over to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Hey guys, little promotion here. Don't forget, you can catch tonight's game highlights on Capital News 9 at 10:45, 11:15 with our very own Jason Barr. Swing it back over to you.
Andrew with those shameless plugs.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a spot to be tonight because they're going to see some great highlights from this basketball game. Just the atmosphere alone, and of course, even more important, the play on the court. Mental breakdown right there for CBA as Kirchner gets called for the block simply because Steve D'Agostino, so hard to contain. You put a 90% foul shooter on the line, Gilliland behind, clock is stopped. Very important time for them to put points on the board.
Makes both free throws on that 1-on-1. Guilderland now on an 8-0 run in the last minute and 57 seconds. This one ain't done yet, baby.
CBA, great job of passing over the traps of the Dutchman.
D'Agostino pokes at it, goes out of bounds. CBA retains possession.
Gilliland has definitely regained their legs as they have gone on this 8-0 run to make it a 6-point game. Minute 31 to go in this basketball game. Still lots of time for the Dutchman.
It's the AA Section 2 Boys Championships right here on TW3 alongside Tom Herter, Damian Andrew, our courtside reporter. I'm Joe Calderon, and again, the winner of this one will head to the regionals to represent Section 2, and you know, CBA ranked 7th in the state of New York in AA, and they're in there with some big names: Mount Vernon, Rice, Lincoln, Some kid named Sebastian Telfair plays over at Lincoln. He's all right.
He's only on the cover of every magazine
he's
in
okay.
the country.
He's okay.
Those are just St. Raymond's. Rush Henrietta, I believe, out of the Rochester area. Abe Lincoln of New York City. A lot of teams from New York City. They get the reputation of being a recruiting hotbed for good reason, because they got a lot of good players coming out of New York City. But CBA or Gilman will be a good representative from Section 2 in the newly created AA classification.
1 minute, 31 seconds left.
Big defensive possession right here for the Dutchmen. If they're going to have any run to tie this game or possibly take the lead, they need a stop right now. 21 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Monahan being guarded by GJ. The entry pass inside of Duel. Kicks it back out to Monahan. Can't get it to go. Rebound. Hemingway. He gets it to go. 55-47. CBA on top of Guilderland.
And it probably will come down to that play right there. Second chance opportunity.
D'Agostino.
Keep it a minute.
Boy, I tell you, every time you think it's slipping away from Guilderland, he hits a big shot. Let's send it over to Damian Andrews. Damian.
Hey guys, just a reminder to everybody watching out there, the rights to this game have been granted by Section 2, and no replay of this program is allowed without written consent from Section 2 and Time Warner Cable, and this is a production of TW3, an exclusive product of Time Warner Cable. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Damian. And there you go, D'Agostino for the three. Minute 5 left. It's a 5-point lead for CBA. That was a big shot if they want to get back in this.
Huge shot. You know what? It's hard to keep a kid down like Steve D'Agostino with as big a heart as Steve D'Agostino has. And he has been, like we've mentioned, the catalyst for this Guilderland team. And he's been right in the middle of this resurgence, hitting 4 straight foul shots, then that huge three-pointer. Of their past 11 points, D'Agostino with 9. So the seniors stepping up when they needed them. A minute 5, still plenty of time. You know what? Guilderland needs 1 steal and a hoop and possibly some missed foul shots. CBA on the flip side, they need to take care of the basketball, take some time off the clock, and of course, make their own foul shots, because CBA is going to be put on the line at some point.
I'm telling you, this place is electric. I'm getting all jazzed up, and I ain't even playing.
It's hard not to. March basketball.
Foul on Kirchner. Looks like it's going to get assessed to D'Agostino. Nope, it's GJ who gets called for the foul. And we're looking at a 1-on-1 for CBA.
Guilderland, I believe, depending on how quickly they update the scoreboard, that's their 8th team foul. So they still have 1 more to give to stay in the single bonus 1-on-1 situation. And now it becomes, again, so important. Not only the foul shots for CBA, but the rebounding for Guilderland. If Kirchner misses this foul shot, you have to box out a guy that's 6'7" on one side and a guy that's 6'7" on the other, Monahan and Duel.
Kirchner at the line. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and it's what Guilderland needed if they're going to try to get back into this. D'Agostino being guarded by Hemingway. 55 seconds left in the AA sectionals. D'Agostino drives, gets it to go. Kirchner, he's fouled. Boy, I tell you, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if there could be co-MVPs, D'Agostino's got my vote. That's for sure.
And you know what? CBA has had a slew of players on their side step up, but individually, if you had to remember one guy from this game walking away, it's going to be Steve D'Agostino. He's only 5'8", but I'll tell you what, he plays like he's 6'2" and athletic with a huge heart.
Kirchner with his 7th point of the game.
You know, this is one of those games where you don't want it to end. And if you're a fan just sitting back watching it, this is great basketball. Both teams making plays.
Makes the second. Timeout. CBA. Let's send it over to Damian Andrew. Damian.
Hey guys, just a reminder, the winner of this game, next up for them is an 8:15 tip Saturday night at UAlbany in a regional game against the Section 3 winner, which will be determined tomorrow night out in the Syracuse area. It's Syracuse CBA against Henninger, and we could see a CBA matchup. And Tom and Joe, I know you're familiar with the name Greg Paulus, a terrific junior guard on that CBA of Syracuse team. In fact, he's already committed to Duke. And Mike Krzyzewski, back over to you guys.
I guess that would make him good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if he's pretty good. As a junior, already committing to play at Duke University. Listen to this crowd. Both sides. I'll tell you what, both these schools should be proud of the representation that they've had, not only on the court, but in the stands. This is just great for the local area, and they've seen some good basketball because we're seeing both teams make plays. This has not been an exercise in futility. You know, much was said about the CBA LaSalle game, where it's more of an indication of just who survived that game in an ugly basketball game. This has been a well-played basketball game with guys making plays on the court.
Here comes Podgorski with Bova guarding. Podgorski looking for an open shot to GJ. Kicks it over to D'Agostino. 33 seconds left. D'Agostino gets the pick from Bankowski. Dishes off to Maxwell. It looked like it was intended for Maxwell. I think Maxwell thought it was intended for GJ. Turnover, and what could be a costly one for Guilderland.
Turnovers have plagued Guilderland in the second half. They had kept them at bay for the past 4 minutes. That's why they've been able to cut into this large lead by CBA. Maybe one too many passes right there. You wish Steve D'Agostino put the ball up.
Monahan gets the long pass and is fouled by D'Agostino, and he wanted to hammer one home. He'll go to the line.
It's a game of inches right now, and if Guilderland's able to get a finger on that long pass to Monahan, then maybe they find themselves either with the ball or a turnover. But you know what? Give CBA credit. They have not turned the basketball over a lot against this tough pressure D of Guilderland as they fought their way back in.
That's Brian Monahan's 15th point of the game. He's also got 6 rebounds.
This is a big one right here. Could make it a 3-possession game with only 25 seconds left to go on the clock.
Misses off the back iron. Doug GJ to D'Agostino. Has he got anything left? Podgorski, 3, gets it to go, and we're looking at a 3-point game. 58-55 CBA, and every time the brothers seem to get farther away, Guilderland creeps back in.
How important are foul shots. Credit to Dan Kirchner. The last time he went to the line after missing the front of the 1-on-1, makes 2. Last time CBA was in the single bonus, Monahan makes just 1 of 2. And then you see Podgorski. Quick release off the little weave with Steve D'Agostino. Hits the huge shot. 16 seconds is an eternity in the game of basketball. If Guilderland can create a turnover and get the ball back, obviously there's life left. But expect them to foul immediately. And it comes down to CBA taking care of the basketball and making foul shots. You know, would you have expected anything less from these two teams?
Absolutely not.
You know, the nice thing is that most of the fans in attendance have probably seen almost every game that individually these teams have played this season. Obviously, a lot of victories under the belt of both these squads, and they've seen some special seasons. And I'll tell you what, this is a great ending, unfortunately, for one team, but also a boost that could send a great representative of Section 2 into the regionals.
Now, there's a reason why that Guilderland's the number 1 seed from the Suburban Council and CBA's the number 1 seed for the Big Ten.
Well, we've witnessed it here. We could definitely see why.
16.1 seconds left. Bova, a home run pass to Antoine Hemingway, who gets it to go, and that might be the nail in the coffin. Turnover, that will be the nail in the coffin. And Podgorski with the foul. Kirchner will go to the line. And that my friends, might do it. 6.6 seconds left.
Well, to be honest with you, Hemingway had broken deep and was way ahead of the pack. Bova's pass comes up a little bit short, gave Gildan a chance to possibly catch up. The foul should have been more aggressive to get the foul before Hemingway laid in the layup. And definitely that layup put Gildan on their heels, but then the turnover on the ensuing inbounds definitely hurt them.
But for CBA, what was more important as Kirchner makes the first free throw was, as you said, they didn't get the layup, but they took an extra probably 3-4 seconds off the clock.
Time is precious right now, obviously, in 6.6 seconds. This is a 3-possession game.
Kirchner makes the second, CBA up by 7. One last-ditch effort by Kortkowski. And that is going to do it. CBA is the AA Section 2 champ. But you know what? Guilderland fought, and they were in it. And I tell you right now, I've never been more impressed with someone in a losing effort as I was tonight with Steve D'Agostino. Let's send it over to Damian Andrew.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the winning coach, Dave Domel. They gave you everything you can handle and then some. Just talk about the game.
Well, I can't say enough about Stevie D'Agostino and what he does for that team. He plays his heart out. He finds his teammates. They play together as well as anybody we've played.
Coach, what was the difference in this game? You came out and went on that run to start the second half.
Well, I think they made up their mind they were going to go to the offensive board and get some off the glass. We weren't shooting real well. We weren't creating a lot of stuff, so we had to go get it on our own.
Congratulations.
Thank
your
you
first
very much.
sectional championship. Thanks a lot. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Damian. CBA Section 2 AA boys champs. They beat Guilderland 62-57. We'll be back with a post game after this. There you go, folks. CBA Section 2 AA champs. They beat Guilderland 62-57. I don't know about you. I'm tired just from watching. These guys were all over the place. I tell you, it was a fantastic game. And as we alluded to, probably with about a minute left in the game, it's a big reason why, Guilderland, #1 seed out of the Suburban, and CBA #1 out of the Big Ten. I don't think we would have expected anything less.
No, just a great effort by both teams. CBA played to their strength in the second half. Guilderland scrapped in the first half, had the lead, had the advantage on the rebounding advantage. And then in the second half, they just seemed to lose their legs a little bit, but they never gave up. And I think Damian has Steve D'Agostino.
Kid with a huge heart. Damian.
Thanks, guys. Steve D'Agostino was gracious enough to join us. Not the way you wanted to go out, but certainly what a game, what an effort from you and your team, and what an atmosphere.
Yeah, it was definitely a great atmosphere. They're a great team. That's why they're ranked in the state. And, it was a great game. It's kind of funny because, you hear that saying, when it's someone's night, it's their night. We ended up losing by 5, and I think they banked in 2-3. So, there's nothing we could do tonight to stop them.
You guys never gave up. You got out to that nice lead early on, and they clawed back in early in the second half. It was kind of an ebb and flow, back and forth, just a classic high school boys basketball sectional championship game. You wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah. Even though we lost, it's a great way to go out. Man, we have a great team. We came back, play with our hearts, and I'm proud of everyone.
Great effort. Thanks. All right, Steve. Back to you guys.
Not only a tough kid, but a class act. And I tell you, Guilderland, I think it came down to that front court. Boba had a huge game. He had 13 points, or actually had 16 points, 11 rebounds. Dual had a monster game. Monahan down the stretch had 16 or 17, and it was just the size. I think early in the game, Guilderland came out. They were probably the quicker team, and they got out to that lead. But as you said, you got those big guys up front, and they wear you down. And eventually, big guys with talent, it's going to catch up to you.
Well, there's no question. They got worn down in the third quarter as I think the first half battle really took its toll, but they regained their legs late in the game. You saw the balance of CBA lead them to victory. They did a great job taking care of the basketball. Guilderland, on the other hand, with a strong guard, struggled turning basketball over. That's why CBA had the 24-9 advantage in the third quarter. It was just a great battle. It couldn't have ended any better for CBA, definitely. Guilderland, you love the moxie and the maturity of Steve D'Agostino, not only with the way he shows it on the court, but just in that interview alone. And CBA is going to be a great representative for Section 2. And, hopefully this was their biggest test of the postseason. And maybe they can carry this victory all the way to a state championship.
Depending on how deep they get, if they get in there with the likes of Rice and Lincoln, that might be a tough test too. Time to take a look at official stats now. I was throwing numbers at you before, but as you can see, you know, the Dutchman says they're 53% from the field, but unfortunately, CBA had some huge three-pointers.
Well, I think the most telling stat on that sheet that really jumps out at you is the rebounding category, which is something that we thought coming into the game CBA would have the advantage, but 37-23, that doesn't even tell the whole story, because at the half it was 16-14 in favor of Guilderland. So CBA just dominated the glass in the second half, and it's surprising that they only shot 40% from the field, because they did have a lot of opportunities from close range, and they were able to knock down some big three-pointers. Whether they were banked or not, they still counted 3 points on the scoreboard, and CBA just guts out a big, big victory.
Bottom line, long story short, I think this is going to be a game that the people that were here tonight, and I know, I speak for myself, won't forget this one for a long, long time. Now, me, Tom, Damian, what we're doing out here is easy. Of course, the people behind the scenes, they make this product look great. We want to take the time right now to thank them. So, for Tom Herter and Damian Andrew, I'm Joe Calderon. We say so long from Hudson Valley, the Edward F. McDonough Sports Complex. One heck of a game. CBA, they're heading to the state tournament. Have a good night, everybody.
So we win this game, and we go on to represent the Capital Region and regional game up at UAlbany. And we had a matchup with Henninger High School. They had a future NBA player, Andre Bloch, playing for him. He was a 6'11" kid. And we end up taking Henninger. We win by, I believe it was 9 points. Had a great third quarter, shut them down. And we move into our first trip to Glens Falls, where we play in the New York State Final Four against a Mount Vernon team that Division I players going to some great schools. Everybody kind of expected us to get blown out, and we almost pulled the big upset. But it set a tone for CBA basketball going forward. And I think from that point on, we're in the next 7 Section 2 finals. Only team ever to win 4 in a row. I know the future of CBA basketball, I think, is bright, and we could use your help making it even brighter.
But yeah, again, what a game, what a battle we had there. Just brings me back to those days, senior year, and how much fun we had, and how much of a team effort, and our coaches and family and everybody bringing us together, and hearing the intensity of that crowd, it was really something special, and something that obviously you remember forever. But it's fun to go back and reminisce, and to be able to see that again, and brought me right back. But yeah, other than that, Bro Nation, keep it going strong. Enjoy this time, because trust me, you'll blink and you'll be as old as I am, and that's getting up there. But have fun, be good, help each other out, and if anybody's in the greater Capital District area, let D'Agostino know that Kirch and Monty said the bank's always open for the brothers. Be good.
It was just a great group of guys. Everybody got along so well. It was just easy, it felt natural. We were just kind of primed to make a run like this.
Thanks again, and go Brothers.